Hi, I am Suraj Kumar. I am the training manager in Samsung. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting and a very basic thing which is part of our Samsung laptop, and that is the CPU, the Central Processing Unit, also known as the processor of a laptop. Now, as such, there are various companies, various vendors who provide us with CPUs, but when it comes to Note PC laptops, two names are very famous, and they are Intel and AMD. Today we are going to talk about the Intel CPU lineup for Samsung laptops. And when we talk about Samsung laptops, one of the very basic thing that we have in our product portfolio is the Atom based netbooks. So at the very entry level we have Intel Atom offering. Beyond that, we have some essential, recommended, and minimalistic offerings. Beyond that, we have CPUs starting from Pentium dual core as an essential product lineup. Then we also have Core i3, which is the minimum that we offer to the customer. That is the minimum that we recommend to a prospective customer. Beyond i3, we have i5 CPUs, which are the recommended CPUs for any customer because of their high performance. And at the extreme end, we have Generation 2 Core i7 CPUs. Now we will talk about these CPUs in detail one by one. Let's see what are their main selling points. When we talk about the entry level segment in a CPU, at the very entry level is the Intel Atom offering. However, even though the Intel Atom CPUs are very affordable, but the product that you are getting, that's a netbook, may not be suited for all the applications. Why? Because when it comes to netbooks, the size of the screen is quite smaller, that is around 10.1 inches. The speed of the CPU is quite limited, that is around 1.6 gigahertz. The resolution of the screen is quite less, that is around 1024 by 600. Moreover, you don't have a optical disk drive, that is a DVD writer. So to take care of all these issues, the first thing that we recommend to the customer is that rather than going with a netbook offering which is based on Intel Atom, the customer should go with the Pentium dual core based offerings. The first thing that the customer gets when he moves to Pentium dual core is the screen size. That is, from 10.1 inches he directly goes to 15.6 inches. He gets speeds of 2.0 gigahertz and above. He also gets memory expandability from 2 GB to 8 GB. He also gets DVD writer and a better quality WXGA screen. So when it comes to the essential computing, Pentium dual core based systems are the minimum that a customer should go with. Beyond Pentium dual core, the customer can go with Core i3 based machines. But what exactly does Core i3 have which the Pentium dual core does not have? And the answer is hyper-threading. Hyper-threading is the concept of virtual CPUs wherein one physical core of a CPU appears as two to the operating system. And since Core i3 is a dual core system, so a dual core system appears as 2 plus 2, that is 4 cores for the operating system. So this is the concept that gets introduced in Core i3 systems. And if you have to check the same thing in your laptop, what would you do? You will just go to the task manager, right click on the task manager, and you go to the performance tab, and this is where you see all the cores which are working in parallel. So even though I have a Core i3 based system which has 2 physical cores, still I see 4 physical cores over here because of the concept of hyper-threading. Now if the customer gets everything in hyper-threading, why should the customer go with Core i5 or i7? Let's see in detail. When it comes to Core i5, the customer gets a very interesting feature which is not available in Core i3, and that is the concept of Turbo Boost technology. Let's look at the task manager once again and let's try to find out which core is working the maximum. At this moment, if we look at this picture over here, we see that this particular core, the third core over here, is the one which is working the most. So what happens is, even though my laptop has a CPU which has 2 physical cores and 2 virtual cores, still it's only one particular core which is working all the time. So in Turbo Boost, what happens is the CPU very intelligently tries to bring those cores which are not working very hard to a lower power state, or may completely shut them down and channel the entire power to the particular core which is working the most, so that the CPU gets overclocked dynamically by a little bit of extent and the customer does not even know about it. And the benefit is that particular process which was stuck on that particular core gets executed in less time. So this is the concept of Turbo Boost, and you can see from the diagram very clearly one particular core which gets stuck can be dynamically overclocked by one or two steppings by shutting down all those three cores which are not working at that time. Now let's talk about one very interesting thing, and that is the Core i7 CPU. Now what's so special about Core i7 CPU is that it is the only processor in the entire stable which has not two but four physical cores in it. Yes, it has four physical cores in it, and since i7 also has the feature of hyper-threading and virtualization, so four cores appear as 8 cores to the operating system. And when we talk about cache memory, which is the temporary reservoir where the data is stored before and after execution, Intel Atom CPU has only 1 MB of cache memory. Pentium dual-core B940 and 950 have 2 MB of cache memory. Core i3 and i5 have 3 MB of cache memory, whereas Core i7 has 3 plus 3, 6 MB of cache memory. So, concluding this entire training session, we come to know that Intel Atom based machines, which are known as netbooks, are the entry level offerings for those customers who are generally mobile and want to do more of data consuming rather than content generation. Whereas Pentium dual core is a very essential kind of offering for those people who do not wish to pay for features which they are not going to use. Core i3 is the minimal that a customer should go with when it comes to home-based computing like multimedia, email checking, browsing, etc. Whereas i5 is the processor which we generally recommend for day-to-day applications, office applications, database applications, etc. Whereas i7 is the processor which we recommend for those customers who are power users, like those who have some work with in multimedia industry or CAD/CAM applications, professional applications, etc. Now we will talk about the type of processor lineup that we have in Samsung. Now let's look at the lineup of features that we have here today. So let's say we have the Pentium dual core followed by i3, i5 and the i7, 2670Q significantly quad core. As you see here, Pentium dual core is not hyper-threaded, so the two physical cores appear as 2 cores only to the operating system, whereas i3 and i5 have a hyper-threading concept. So 2 cores PS4 and 4 PS3 operating system. Second thing to know here is the concept of turbos. PDC and i3 do not have turbos, so there is no turbo speed for CPUs. However, i5 and i7 have some turbos, so the system, the CPU can actually jump from 2.3 to 2.9 to 2.0 gigahertz of speed as and when required. And this happens generally without us really noticing anything about it. Third thing is the new technology, which is a concept by which the customer, if he is a place high information videos, he does not see bad pixels on the screen, he just sees smooth resolution and smooth gradient on the screen. So that concept is not available on CPU, and this is we don't recommend these for those people who are more into watching multimedia on their laptop. However, i3 and i5 do have this concept. More, all these new CPUs support new type of RAM, so GDDR166 and 133 MHz of speed. PDC is more for entry-level applications or essential applications, whereas i3 is the minimum that the customer should go with. i5 is what we come to the customer, has very nice graphic card and one of the highest turbo speeds and one of the highest default speeds which are available. And when it comes to power applications, customer can go with Core i7 machines. Thanks so much.